Good morning, Facebook land. Top of the morning to y'all on this fine early hour of the day here on Saturday, the 9th of August, 2025, at about 4:05 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Coming at you live from downtown Columbus, Ohio. And kind of an interesting little, uh, nook of the downtown that you might not notice all too well, but it turns out it's a sort of pretty pivotal, pretty critical sort of node, I guess, in our local and regional infrastructure here, and that's this little crossing here. So I'm sitting right below the ongoing construction site for the new 7071 interchange, which happens to go over the Olentangy River in downtown Columbus. This is, for those of you who are familiar with the highway systems of Columbus, you have the outer belt, which is 270, and then you have the inner belt, which is essentially sort of formed by the main through interstates of the highways of Columbus, as they sort of, I guess, as they glance past each other at 90 degrees. So we have Interstate 70 on the southern half of the inner ring. We have Interstate 670 forming the top half, and then you have 71 and 315 forming the right and left sides, respectively. So, anyways, I'm sort of at the southwest corner of the inner loop, which is where 315, I should say, and 71 and 70 all cross. And this is sort of this huge flyover ramp that they're building, specifically from I-70 eastbound, which is where this ramp takes off from, to go all the way across the river and to the left, a big sweeping arc about 270 degrees to the left direction, to end up for basically it's a giant exit ramp for those continuing along 71 south. One might call it exit ramp from 70 to 71. Another might call it simply a continuation of I-71. But yeah, it's kind of remarkable how massive these viaducts are, though, for them. Because, I mean, I'm just kind of asking myself, I'm kind of sitting here looking at these things, asking myself, my goodness, I mean, first of all, let me kind of get my oh gosh, let me get my opinions out of the way, I guess we can say. First of all, let's focus on. First of all, let's look at my laptop background, which just happens to show the view of what downtown Columbus pretty much looks like today. I think that's pretty much the view of downtown Columbus, actually, from. I want to say from as if we were on top of this, kind of on the apex of that viaduct, looking out over the city that way. In the northwest, pretty soon in the northeastern direction. So that's kind of what this. It's kind of ironic that I have that as my desktop view, because one of my biggest pet peeves about this ramp is that it's. I mean, as I guess as impressive as it is as a work of structural engineering and civil engineering. Aside from that, it's hideous. It obstructs one of the best views of downtown Columbus that you have, particularly for those entering from Cincinnati along I-71. I don't know how in the world this thing got approved to be built, but nonetheless, it's being built. And I don't even want to fancy how much this thing probably costs, but look at this thing. Here's a car for scale. I mean, I think sometimes it's kind of challenge. I think it's difficult sometimes to get a real grasp on the scale of these things. And I believe this is this is 3-lane wide ramp. I mean, if at least 2 lanes wide for sure. And knowing how Columbus loves to fatten their highways with all these copious amounts of unneeded lanes, I'm gonna guess that's a 3-lane ramp that's being carried at about, gosh, I'm gonna say, how high would y'all say? So that is about 60 to 70 feet at least, 80 feet. I'm gonna call that a solid 100 feet. let me think here. I mean, 100 feet would imply 10 stories. I mean, I guess we have a couple of things here for speaking of scale and reference. Uh, but I mean, I'm just kind of, I'm, s- I don't know. Call me old-fashioned here, but this thing is, I just find an appalling sort of, uh, what we'll call, yeah, an obstruction to the damn skyline view. And I'll have to, and shoot, I mean, for those of you who've ever driven into Columbus via I-71, I think you might know what view I'm talking about. Basically, it's this view, kind of almost. So I feel like now this view is going to be marred by this giant, hideous thing. Uh, pretty much from all directions approaching the city in this kind of in this area along 315, 71, and so forth. But I mean, leaving aside my personal grievances with the necessity, in the first place of having built this monstrosity, now that it's being built, I will say this is kind of an impressive structure. I mean, shit, like 80 to 90 feet. This thing spans. I'm trying to think of how many crossings this thing spans, because I mean, At first glance, it's sort of like sort of the how I put this. Oh, I guess it's the left hand turn of a stack interchange design, as opposed to a cloverleaf design, which kind of has you go over the clover to go to the leftward direction of the interchange. Just as you do a big old sweeping arc, just like you would have if you were turning right. It's a wider radius, obviously. Anywho, digressing, but so let's think about it for a second. I mean, so any sort of standard stack interchange like this, this type of ramp would have to go over, you have to go over the highway that you were just on. So in this case, you'd have to go over I-70, as you can see it's doing there. I believe that's I-70 on the left. So if I can get this thing, so that's I-70 essentially. I think that's sort of the legacy. This thing's all fucked. Anyway, like you see where I'm talking about, where this truck is basically going, where the existing traffic is flowing. That's the existing / legacy I-70 westbound. So anyways, this stack, this off ramp has to clear that, that level, that highway deck. It also has to clear. Let me think here. Well, yeah. It also has to clear whatever. Well, I guess in a normal stack interchange configuration, it would have to also clear the highway going perpendicular, the crossing itself. So you're going over two levels of, now we're already up to a third level of third level, if you will, of roadway, just on this one ramp. And then also, if you look there's a railroad crossing. So that's a fourth corridor. There's one Scioto River. So that's 5. But like this point essentially is the nexus of like 6 different corridors converging. Obviously I-70 and 71, Olentangy River. Shit. What else did I just say? I guess that's essentially it. Because I mean, this is 315. This goes to the north. Yeah. So, but it's just kind of impressive to see this thing, and I wish I could be impressed by it without being angry by the fact that it sort of is an unnecessary mar to the otherwise beautiful skyline of Columbus. But you know what? I have to be a little bit mindful of my own. I have to sort of sometimes catch myself and zoom out for a moment against my own biases of freeways and such. I mean, I do love driving. I should, y'all have heard me kind of check myself, and I do remind the viewers that I too drive. Unfortunately, no longer my Mazda, but I hate this sort of assumption that a transit user's I guess that the government giving $1 to a transit user is somehow taking that dollar away from the driver. We gotta stop looking at things, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have to stop looking at things in terms of fixed pies. We have to stop looking at things as with respect to, if you have something nice, then that means I can't have something nice because there's only so many nice things to go around. No, 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 no. That's not how the world works. That's why we have innovation. That's why we have efficiency. That's why we have, yada, yada, yada. There is enough pie to go around. We just have to get more and more clever at making more of it and making it quickly, efficiently, and egalitarianly. Anyways, I've rambled on, I think, enough, and considering the hour of the evening it is, and the things I have smoked in the last half hour, which some of you guys might have read between the lines of, I gotta watch my urge to ramble here. Ramble alert! So, and I know it's Facebook land, I just wanted to kind of share with you this little, oh shit, I might as well just embark from here and do a little, since it is in fact the case that we don't have a Wi-Fi connection at this moment. We're going to be going off-road on a tape delay, and shoot, who knows what else. So let me take this moment to assemble myself. I do miss legitimately being on job construction sites. Legitimately in big bold capital letters. I mean, legitimate. It's not authorized. There's a difference between legitimacy and authorization. Anyways, shit. I was trying to do a proper sign off and I forgot this thing is clumsy as fuck. If not, let me turn the camera around. Anyways, this has been Mike George commission live from Columbus, Ohio, at this wonderful little 4:20 a.m. on Saturday morning, the 9th of August, 2025. Wherever you guys find yourself this beautiful summer weekend, make sure to take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else and stay hydrated. Toodles.